been over a month. I had such an amazing time traveling. As you guys knew, I was on the road for a little bit, so I went from Savannah, Georgia to Charleston, South Carolina. That was kind of like a little family getaway slash like birthday celebration. I had never been to Charleston before, and I kind of wanted to figure out whether I wanted to move there because I was like, I need to find a job as soon as I get back from this trip, and I need to know, like, am I staying in Tampa, Florida, or am I moving out of state? So I went there with the purpose of, like, yeah, celebrating my birthday, but also seeing if I wanted to set up there. It was beautiful, you guys. It's definitely a place that I could see myself in the future, but I think right now there's just too many things like keeping me here in Tampa, and I'm glad that that happened because fast forward, I actually got a job in Florida, like while I was on the road traveling. God works in mysterious ways, he really does. So I'll tell you guys a little bit about that in just one second, but I went from Charleston, I then flew with Blue into Virginia. My brother and my sister-in-law just bought a beautiful new home, so I visited with them a couple of days, and then I actually had a wedding up in New York. So that was the purpose of like prolonging my trip to go up to New York for the wedding, and I hadn't seen my mom since December of 2019. The plan was for her to come visit me in LA. She actually bought a ticket for her trip and everything in June, and then COVID hit and like we rescheduled her trip, and then I wound up moving back to the East Coast. So now she's probably coming to use those flyer miles to come see me here in Florida. It's been a wild year, you guys. But anyway, so I went from Virginia, rented a car, and drove up to New York for the wedding. And then I was like, when do I ever have the opportunity to just stay here and hang out? So I visited everybody who I haven't seen. I mean, I've been out in LA almost 5 years, and I really just wanted to have time to catch up with my girlfriends and you know, some extended family. It seems like I'm kind of like rush every time I'd come home for the holidays because I'd only be on the East Coast for a week, and I'd have to split that between Virginia and New York, and it was very hectic, and I never got to see everybody who I wanted to see. It was just always such a short trip before I had to fly back to LA. So I said, you know what, no, this time around I'm gonna stay put. I'm going to catch up with everybody. I'm gonna visit with my mom. So it was really nice. I stayed in New York for 2 weeks, and it was amazing. I got so much good bonding time with my mom. And when I tell you it was the most beautiful autumn weather that we've ever had, usually on Long Island you can get what's called an Indian summer, where the 80s and those kind of like warm breezes extend into September and sometimes even early October. But it was not like that. They had a cold front come through, and it was beautiful. I mean, we went out east, we went apple and pumpkin picking, we went to the wineries, my mom and I went to a cider mill. It was just like such a fun, amazing trip, and I got like those nice 50 and 60 fall temperatures that you just love up in New York. New York, like I would say autumn in New York is probably my favorite time of year, so I'm so happy I got to visit and got those nice cool temperatures that I was kind of wishing for. It's just not the same when you're drinking a pumpkin spice latte in like 90 degrees and humidity here in Florida. So I definitely desperately wanted that taste of fall, and you guys, I got it. New York delivered. So that's a little bit about my trip. I am back here now, and what I was telling you guys is like last minute, sometimes I'll get up in the middle of the night and I'll like look at my phone, and if there's alert from LinkedIn, like a new job popped up in like beauty, I'll like sleep apply. I'm not even kidding you. This has happened to me more than once where like I've applied to a bunch of jobs and they'll get back to me and I'm like, I don't even remember applying to that. I applied at 3:30 in the morning apparently. So that's kind of what happened. Is I applied in the middle of the night. They got back to me the next day and asked for a FaceTime interview. I said I would love to, but I just wanted to let you guys know I am on vacation in New York right now. I don't have like a proper background. I don't have a proper formal attire. Like I was just kind of like vegging there. Also did not bring any jackets. Like I was not prepared for New York weather. I think I had to borrow like some sweaters and coats and stuff from my mom. But I told them and they said, no problem, thank you for taking the time to like interview on your vacation. And that interview went really well. They asked me if I would come in for a second interview once I landed back here in Florida. And lo and behold, I went on the interview yesterday and I got the job. So I will be starting as a marketing director for a med spa. I'm so excited. I have a little bit of a commute, but eventually I'll probably wind up moving into like Tampa proper. Right now I'm like right outside of Tampa. So lots of super exciting things happening. I'm just so grateful to be home and to be filming again. So without further ado, that was a little 5-minute intro just because we haven't seen each other in so long. But I wanted to show you guys these beautiful flowers that my parents got me. They're like, oh, you know, we were gonna get you white flowers. I'm like, white flowers for me? I'm like the most colorful person alive. So I don't know why you guys would have thought I wanted white flowers, but this is perfect. I love it. I got some fuchsias and hot pinks and orange and lime and yellow and a couple of red roses. This is like such a beautiful bouquet. So they got that to congratulate me. So that's my little update on the personal front. But without further ado, today's video is actually talking all about sunscreen. I really wanted to get this video up at the beginning of summer when people are like gung-ho about applying sunscreen, but you know what? I said, you know what? I'm going to interrupt our normally scheduled programming to tell you that you need to be wearing sunscreen year-round. The sun is out year-round, and even in the winter, you're still absorbing harmful UV rays. Now, a quick little personal side note about sunscreen and like my history. I am very fair. As you can see, I mean, you don't really get any whiter than me. I have a Russian, Ukrainian heritage, a little German and Irish, but my skin is very, very fair. I also, I'm sure as many of you know, I have green eyes. So I have the light eyes, the light hair, the fair skin. I burn super easily. Now, if I could rewind time and give a little pep talk, so if there's any younger audience watching this, it's that, you guys, I would have done things so differently as far as sunscreen. My dad, God love him, we grew up, my parents were divorced when I was young, and so when my dad had us and we would go to the beach, he did the best that he could, but he never condoned the use of sunscreen. We were kind of laughing the other day. My dad used to like lather baby oil on, or like the Hawaiian tropic oil, the one that's coconutty and smells delicious, but it's also super sticky and sand would stick everywhere. That's what I used to put all over, including my face. So the sun damage that my skin like incurred from probably 10 years old, when we used to go to the beach, I would say, is when I started really like wanting to get that tan, till probably, I mean, high school age. I think around college is when I started paying attention to my skin and wanting to preserve it. I just never ever put on sunscreen, and you guys, I know it looks like my skin is good, but it's not. I have hyperpigmentation, I have sun damage. I actually have extensive sun damage. One of the most, what's the word? The thing that bothers me the most, like one of my vulnerabilities, is my chest. A lot of times I'll put not cover up, but like foundation a little on my chest just to even things out, because every time I take a picture, my skin and my décolleté area, this is probably one of the most sensitive areas. It burns very easily on many people who are fair-skinned, and this, I would say, probably took the brunt of the damage. There's just such extensive, what's the word, sunspots and aging that took place on my chest, and I just wish that I would have loaded up on the sunscreen back then. So this is my, you know, little pep talk to anyone younger watching my video. Please put on sunscreen. When you're 30, 40 years old, even mid-20s to late 20s when you start showing signs of aging. You don't want premature aging, and I've been taking really good care of my skin for probably the last 10 years, but if I had done so, or maybe even 15, if I had done so earlier, I just think like, okay, maybe I could have looked even better. Maybe I could have looked even younger. So definitely load up on sunscreen. The sun is out even in the winter when you're cold and you don't feel it. Those harmful UV rays, they might not be as strong, but for sure they are out. So definitely do not go into tanning beds. Do not lather up on oil or baby oil as my dad and I used to use. You know, just no one ever gave me the pep talk that like, this is so horrible for your skin and you're doing things that like you'll never be able to undo as you get older and as your body starts showing signs of sun damage. So that's my little pep talk. Okay, now that we're 10 minutes in, I want to quickly run through some of my favorite sunscreens. Again, I wanted to start off by just kind of telling you a few basics. Like I mentioned, sun is out year-round. You need to be wearing sunscreen year-round. Even if you don't do your whole body, do the places that are exposed. Do your hands. Hands, again, are like one of the first things that shows aging on a woman, as well as the décolleté area. Anything that is exposed. For sure, 100% your face. So if you're gonna do the bare minimum, do your face, because you'll want to protect that. You wanna protect that moneymaker. So sun is out year round, you need to be wearing sunscreen year round. There are two, and these are just the basics, there are two types of sunscreen. You have your mineral sunscreen, which I have 6 that I'm gonna show you here today. Some are more of my favorites than others, and I'll tell you why, but we will run through all 6. And a little bit about them. So you have your mineral, or what's called physical sunscreen. Those work by reflecting UV rays, okay? So they're the ones that tend to leave like a white cast. Usually they're made of zinc oxide or titanium dioxide. They're a little stickier of a formula. They're safer in that they're a little more natural for the skin. So a lot of the ones that are like, that talk about like natural ingredients may be physical or mineral sunscreens. And you need to apply them 15 minutes prior to the sun. So definitely put them on beforehand, let them penetrate the skin, sink in. Chemical, on the other hand, these work by penetrating the top layers of the skin to absorb UV rays. The body then converts them to heat and then releases them from the body. They tend to be a little bit more graceful in working under makeup and stuff. If you're sweating, you won't see them. Like one of the ones that I love is from the brand Farmacy, and it is a mineral sunscreen, and as soon as I start sweating, it was like pouring sheets of like white down my face. So on the flip side, chemicals tend to be a little more graceful in that if you start sweating, they won't show. They also minimize white residue or white cast, so if you put some on and then you take pictures, they're a little bit easier to work with, I think. So most of the ones that I have here, even though a lot of them are from more natural brands, they are chemical, and chemical ones have oxybenzone, which is the main one. A lot of these products also, I kept seeing sunflower oil as an ingredient, so I did look it up just so you're like, okay, it's got sunflower oil, does that mean it's chemical or mineral? Not necessarily one or the other. Sometimes brands will combine a combination of the two, including sunflower oil, which I found is a natural source of vitamin E, and it acts as a natural sunscreen that can absorb UVB light or UVB rays. So that's a little background on just your chemical sunscreens versus mineral. Again, mineral will be a little bit more natural, but a little less graceful as far as like if you're sweating, you might see a white cast. They're a little harder, I think, to work with than chemical ones. Some of the things said is that the chemical ones can lead to they're toxic to your body. Take it as what you want. Every time you go out into the sun isn't good, right? We're always doing things that kind of put us at risk for different things. So chemical, they're saying that your body doesn't know what to do with it, and it could like poison you over time, lead to cancer. The studies are varied, but that is definitely one of the things that comes up. So if you're like a naturalist and you like using all natural products, you'll probably lean more towards physical or mineral. Okay, so because I don't love mineral, I'm going to talk about the two that I have here. I actually like both of these products. However, I like them for different reasons. So Farmacy, again, starting off, this is the Farmacy Green Defense Daily Mineral Sunscreen. It is SPF 30. It is a broad spectrum. It says it's a non-greasy sunscreen and daily skin shield that helps guard skin from harmful UVA and UVB rays. It also protects skin from overexposure to sunlight and pollution. It can be worn alone or under makeup. It absorbs quickly without leaving white cast or residue. That is debatable. This is the one that I said I was sweating at the gym, and you could see, like, as I was dripping sweat, it was like a white drip. So I would definitely use this on a day that maybe I wasn't sweating, so under makeup, if you know you're going to be inside in the air conditioning for the most part. But if you're going to be outside, or use this to work out with, which a lot of times I'll put them on before I go work out, because sometimes she'll make us run around outside and stuff, and you know, you definitely want to have sunscreen on. So SPF 30, it's a mineral sunscreen. It's also cruelty free, but again, a downside of this one is that you can see a white cast or a white residue. Even though it says you can't on the bottle, I agree to disagree. That one is $36. Also, I love Farmacy the brand, so I wanted to try this. Probably not my favorite product, so I won't repurchase, but I definitely will finish this. Doesn't really have a scent. I'm gonna kind of talk about that too. Second one we have here is the Kinship Self-Reflect. This one is good for sensitive skin. It retails for $25. This is their Self-Reflect Probiotic Moisturizing Sunscreen. Sunscreen SPF 32. It is also cruelty-free and vegan. And it gives you like a really pretty sheen. So it's a little thicker. And if you love like a glowy look, you will like this, because it definitely leaves like a little pretty shimmery cast. Let me see when I rub it in. It smells really nice. It kind of has that like plasticky Play-Doh smell, but that's sweet. You guys will know what I mean if you know how ColourPop lippy stick products smell, like that sweet Play-Doh-y smell almost. So that's kind of how it smells. It gives skin like a really pretty sheen. I don't know if this is picking up properly, but it leaves like a really nice sheen. Not too glowy. It says sheer, lightweight, blends effortlessly, helps soothe and protect blemish-prone skin. I have noticed that this does not break me out, so that's good. Formulated with a patented probiotic technology to support a healthier skin barrier, and it's got 22.4% zinc oxide, and it says apply liberally to the face 15 minutes prior and then reapply every 2 hours. So again, that is the brand Kinship. Love this brand, love their other products. This is a great sunscreen, especially if you want a mineral sunscreen. Okay, now let's get into some of my favorite chemical sunscreens, because I think for the most part these are the ones I'm going to be sticking to, just because I like to wear them to work out and I need them to be kind of sweat proof. So the first one that I picked up once I got here in Florida, I was waiting for my stuff to arrive and I was like, oh my gosh, my sunscreens are packed. So I ordered a couple. This one I got at CVS, so the good thing is Sun Bum is sold at Ulta. CVS, you can get this at most drugstores. Retails for $12.99, so it is bargain priced. I love the other products of Sun Bum. It does not have a fragrance. It is fragrance free. It's very, very lightweight, so I think this would work really well under makeup. It says oil free, breakout free. It's water resistant for 80 minutes and it's SPF 50 and it is for the face. So the face one has the more clean or pure ingredients that won't break you out. And it has a ingredient called avobenzone, which a lot of these do. I was like, what is this avobenzone? Is that the same as like, what was the other one? Oxybenzone? It's a more safer rendition. So it's the more natural of the chemical ones, this avobenzone. A lot of the ones I have up here have it. And again, water resistant. I love this one. I use it at the beach as well because if I want to just do my shoulders or my skin, it has 80 minutes for swimming and everything, and then you need to apply. Again, 15 minutes prior to sun exposure. Most of them want you to kind of put it on prior to sun exposure. So that's this one, and it is also vegan. Vegan, fragrance-free, lightweight, oil-free, breakout-free. So that's that one. This is a great drugstore choice. Okay, next up we have Supergoop. This is kind of a fan favorite. I've seen this a lot of places. Now, they have a dedicated sunscreen. This is not the dedicated sunscreen. This is the Supergoop Play. It's SPF 50, and I did want to include it. It's an everyday lotion. I use it on my face. I believe, though, that there is a dedicated, not just lotion with SPF. There's like just a dedicated SPF. So I'd be curious to try that one. This is clean chemical sunscreen actives. It's reef safe, it's non-irritating, there's no synthetic fragrance, and it is vegan. Again, this is one of the ones that it says with sunflower extract. And I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but it is SPF 50, broad spectrum, water and sweat resistant. So this is another good one if you want to use it at the gym. Actually, the 4 that I'm showing you that are all chemical are all perfect for the gym. I kind of rotate between them. Now, it could have just been my time of the month, but this did break me out. I'm not sure if it was the sunflower seed oil or what. It is clear, so it looks like a regular lotion. But with all of the gentle ingredients, I was thinking it should be fine. So I'm gonna try it again. It does leave to me a little bit of a greasy residue. Again, I think that might be the sunflower seed oil. It does leave like a nice sheen to the skin. And it smells delicious. This smells like your typical sunscreen that you would apply. It's hard to describe it, but if you've ever used sunscreen, you know exactly what I'm saying. It has that like beachy smell to it. I'm not sure if that's the sunflower or what, but this is a fan favorite. I see this stuff everywhere. Next up, oh, I'm not sure if I mentioned, but that is also reef safe and vegan. Not sure if I mentioned that. I made my notes. Okay, so those two. Next one up is the Dermalogica. This is probably my favorite one that I've been using to work out with. This is by the brand, well, it's Dermalogica, but it's by the line Clear Start. I actually purchased a couple of things from this line. It's for a younger audience that's more breakout prone, but because I have oily combo skin, I actually think that this works really well for aging skin as well. So why I picked this up is it says it was a mattifying moisturizer, so I'm getting the mattifying for greasy skin, the moisturizer, and the SPF, and it also has things in it to keep your skin clear. So a little bit about this, it's SPF 30, it's for breakout prone skin. It is very lightweight. When I sweat, I do not see a white cast or anything with this. It says it's shine reducing SPF moisturizer, protects breakout prone skin from environmental stress, ultra lightweight formula, provides long lasting matte finish. This one, again, has a scent, very light. Yeah, it smells like sunscreen. I don't know how to describe it other than that like kind of sweet, plasticky, beachy sunscreen scent. Also, one thing about this, I am not sure what it is about this. Sometimes on like a super cleansed face, it tingles a little bit, like it burns. Not a bad burn, it doesn't irritate me, my skin doesn't get red, but I have heard that some sunscreens can do this, so I'm not sure if I have a sensitivity, but it's never bothered me enough to stop using it. If that sways you one way or the other. It's probably one of my favorite out of all of them here. And last but not least, I saved my favorite for last. This is the Innisfree Daily Defense. I believe this retails for something so unbelievably inexpensive. It is an amazing price point. I think this is $15. It is 1.69 fluid ounces. It's a broad spectrum SPF 36. Again, this is a chemical sunscreen. Innisfree is a Korean skincare brand. They sell this at Sephora, but they also have their own standalone stores. You can also buy it on Innisfree.com. If the name sounds familiar and you're a frequent watcher of my channel, then it's probably because you know this. I've talked about other skincare products from Innisfree, including their foundation. I think it's called their silk or satin foundation, which is one of my favorites. So really clean ingredients. This is called their Daily UV Defense Sunscreen. They've since come out with a couple different formulas because it was so popular, which I'm not surprised about. I'm honestly obsessed with this. Again, it is water-based, so it's really lightweight. It has sunflower seed oil in it, so you get that natural element. Okay, for a Korean skincare, it is chemical, but it has some more natural ingredients in it, and it definitely leaves a little bit of a dewy glow. So it says it's a water-based sunscreen. Sunflower seed oil effectively protects against UV rays while delivering a refreshing, wow, I cannot talk, dewy glow. And again, this is another one with that avobenzone in it. Again, it wants you to apply 15 minutes prior to sun exposure and every 2 hours thereafter. Most of them say that. They kind of cover themselves by being like, okay, make sure you reapply after an hour or two. One says 80 minutes. So they're all between like an hour to 2 hours that you should reapply. But one of my favorites and such an amazing price point. If I had to pick two of the 4 chemical, I would probably go with these two I use the most, the Dermalogica Clear Start and the Innisfree. This is better if you're more oily combo, and this is better if you're more sensitive, or you like that you're dry and you like that dewy glow. So both of these super good. And then as far as the mineral ones are concerned, if I had to choose between both of these, probably the Kinship, just because it wins out over this with the white residue when I'm sweating, and probably a little bit of white cast, I imagine, in photos. So that is it. I hope I did you guys not a disservice by waiting so late, but I really think that this video can go live really anytime throughout the year because, as I mentioned, sunscreen is so, so, so important for your skin. Like, if I had to pick top 3 things, I would say drink water, sunscreen, don't sleep in your makeup / wash your pillowcase often. We'll do a combo on the last one. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Sorry it ran a little long, but I was kind of updating you guys on my trip. I think the next one coming up will be a try-on of some Innisfree. Again, same brand as this. I just love all their products. I have like 10 of their amazing lip balms, and they have different tints, and I'm obsessed. So I'll probably do a try-on video of that next. I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you liked it, please subscribe to my channel, comment on the video, like it, give it a thumbs up, all that good stuff. All right, love you guys. See you guys all in my next one.